Hi, this is Ryan King, broker at King Realty Group. Today I'm here with Tam Gonzalez. Tam came into my office here today and wanted some help in her business, and we did a little coaching session on how to basically to get from one level to the next. And Tam, I was telling Tam a little bit about how we're growing the company and more agents are joining here. And Tam actually said, "Hey, Ryan, let's do a video on why I joined King Realty Group." So today I get to do a video with Tam and ask the question, Tam, why did you join King Realty Group?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. That's why when I was trying to tell you, I was like, let's just do a video on it because there's so many reasons. I mean, it comes down to really a few core reasons. Number one, technology. Number two, personal relationship with you. And number three, the way that the brokerage is structured. So I consider myself pretty tech savvy. I've invested a ton of my own money and a lot of time learning the marketing side of this business, which is really where my passion lies, is in the marketing. And so what I was finding was that I was kind of too ahead of the curve sometimes, where the brokers or the agents around me just didn't understand what I was doing. So it kind of fell flat or just wasn't taken the way that it should have been. And so it is really exciting for me, even the first time I met with you, to hear how techy you are and to just hear some of the words that came out of your mouth. I'm like, oh, he's speaking my language. So, I mean, I still remember the first time you showed me that website. I've seen so many broker websites, and I've never, ever used any of my broker sites ever. Not when I was at the few brokerages that I've been at, I've never used their websites. Yours, when you showed it to me, at first I was like, oh God, okay, another broker that he's going to show me this website and be real proud of it, and it's something I'll never use. And it was so awesome and so techy and so robust, but yet so easy to use that it was like the light bulb started going off, because I would use landing pages to build actual landing pages, then use something like Zapier to connect it to a contact management system. There's all these moving parts, 3 or 4 different types of software that you have to use to actually create a loop. And our VegasData.com, our actual agent websites, eliminate the majority of the need for any of that. So,
and just to elaborate, we provide a dedicated website for each individual agent. So they're basically centric. No matter where you go on the website, their face, their name, no other agents. So it truly is their website, and whatever leads they get from it, it's their leads, and if they're 100%, they're 100%.
Yeah, because before, even if I had an agent website, let's say I was going to go run an ad, I needed to actually pull that advertising data off the MLS and create a link from the MLS, where now I could use my own agent website to create that page, to create that list. Whatever I'm trying to do, our actual website does it quicker, easier, no login, it's just done. It's actually pretty impressive. So I'm excited about that, really excited.
Hey, Tam, let me ask you a question. Let's back up a little bit further. What made you first notice King Realty Group and kind of tweaked your attention?
I couldn't escape you. Everywhere I went on Facebook, I couldn't escape you. So I knew you had pixelated me. So I was like, yes, he's got me pixelated. So which means every time I would do anything on Facebook, read any kind of an ad, an instant article, anything, I'll see Ryan's beautiful little face talking to me, telling me about King Realty. So since I use video in my business, and that's my main focus, is video on Facebook, he stood out to me. Obviously, he's speaking my language. So I knew that he was doing what I do and what I want to continue to do and learn.
And that's not to get sidetracked out here for some agents, but like it's when you're in marketing, it's kind of like who's your target audience, right? It's kind of like know your client. So as a broker, my client is agents, and if I can't effectively be in front of agents all the time, how could I effectively help you teach you to be effective in front of the consumer? Exactly. So, I think that's a real valid point. Look at the way your broker markets and recruits and grows their business, and that might help you decide whether you want to be with that brokerage or not.
Exactly. I want to see a broker that's using technology. I want to see a broker that knows how to do more than go knock on doors. Not that there's anything against that. I love knocking on doors. I'm great at it. But that's not what I want to do day in and day out. I want to use all of my resources and to be able to pair all those together and be able to align with a broker that has a vision and that can think outside the box.
It's with technology, it's not just, everyone's like, Ryan, you're a tech guy. You're a tech guy. I'm not just a tech guy. It's I'm a big fan of old school methods. I'm also a big fan of using technology and doing a perfect marriage between old school and new school. If you look at technology, or I'm sorry, if you look at old school methods, right? If you look at old school methods and certain mailers and whatnot, it can get you ideas, give you ideas on how you can structure that in the social media marketing era of today, and take those mailers and those ideas and move that to online. And I mean, and we've done a lot of it here. We're doing more of it here, and it really does work because it's that past, it's that old. If you can't learn from the past, then I mean, how are you making decisions? You've got to be able to learn from the past and use those tools and techniques, and be able to use that in today's world, in today's technology world, and just have that perfect marriage. Even if it's pure just old school methods of marketing, you can still help, in some way or another, you can take technology to make yourself more efficient.
Exactly. I love what you said. It's really a marriage. It's not about, one thing is better than the other. It's about, we're moving, we're growing, we're coming into more and more technology in the world, and we should be utilizing it. We should be, coupling everything together. So just like when you're talking about mailers, when somebody sees a mailer, it may or may not have your picture on it. Who really cares about that? It's going to have some information. It's good. It's better than nothing, but it's impersonal. But when you can marry that with either a face-to-face contact or somebody seeing you online, they can already decide if they like you, trust you, want to do business with you. So then when they get your mailer, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen Ryan on Facebook 100 times. I know this guy. Let's give him a call.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to being a good real estate agent today. It used to be just you do some print marketing and you get business, and then you had to be personable and you had to know how to sell, because we are in the business of selling, and help guiding your client along to their ultimate goal, which is to either buy or sell their home. So, but today you have to be kind of you have to kind of give people a sneak preview of what you're like. And how you do that is with doing a lot of video marketing. And this way you can kind of give that awesome personality of yours can come out in a video, and people can see how educated you are on real estate, what kind of person you are, what you stand for, and kind of get a feel for you, and kind of build what's called a symbiotic relationship, where they kind of know you know them. They kind of test drive you out, so to speak. And so once you start doing that, people are more familiar with you, right? And then they're more comfortable with you. But it's also, being a good realtor is also is knowing the business inside and out. Okay, so you've got to know the tech part of it. You got to be doing video. You got to know the ins and outs of how to be a good realtor. I'm talking about contracts, listing agreements, negotiating, the rules, and then on top of that, you've got to be even more personable when you're in front of them, and being able to help guide them. So there's a lot to it these days.
Yeah, there really, really is. You really have to wear so many different hats, and you have to be good at so many different things that, I mean, to be honest, it's hard to keep up sometimes. Even somebody as tech savvy as me, I don't know YouTube ads like I know Facebook ads. That's why I'm like so happy to be in a brokerage where, hey, now we have a YouTube guy. Now I'm sure we have people that are great on Instagram. I'm great on Facebook. Now we have a resource of agents that we can actually help each other grow. Because I like sharing, and I like teaching other agents. But what I don't like is when I'm the only one teaching. I like to be able to learn too. So it's really refreshing to be in a group of people where there's never been a time that I've ever walked into King Realty Group and not learned something, had a good experience, had a good time, or felt connected to the group of people that I work with.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's definitely happening is we're attracting more and more techie people. I mean, there's maybe 10 really tech agents in the Valley that I could honestly say know their stuff. I'd say we have at least half of them here at King Realty Group at one brokerage, and which is great for us tech people because, like you said, you might be good at Facebook, another person might be great at YouTube, and we could all learn from each other. And then for those not so techie people, I mean, what's the best way to learn a language? Best way to learn a language is to move to that country. So for those not so techie people, it's definitely a good idea to come here so you can learn more about tech. And then you never know. I mean, there's probably something you could bring to the table as well. I mean, we just did a class with a master salesman that teaches you how to guide you and work you through objections. He's a realtor here. I mean, he's not techie at all, but you know what? He has a skill, and he was grateful. He was great. And he shared that with all of us techie people. So I mean, it's not just all about tech. There's many different levels to this business.
Yeah, I love it, and I love that you said that that everybody has something to offer and something that we need. And it's really like we're constantly trying to juggle all these balls, and we're trying to get better at all these different arenas. But I mean, my experience is like, it's like, so if I've got a pie, I'm doing really good at this piece right now. I'm doing really great at that piece, and I'm sucking a little bit that piece, and then I need work on that piece. It's always constantly evolving. So I need more sales training. I need to watch that guy's video. I've had some difficult clients lately where I have not been able to help them like I thought that I would be able to. And I've had to refer them out just to make sure that they get the service they need. So I want more objection training. I want more sales training. So it's such a resource to have all those things available and to have everybody be willing to share their value.
Awesome. Tam, what other reasons why you joined King Realty Group?
What other reasons? So I found that in the past, that all the other brokers that I've worked at, my broker was actually competing with me. No, not like in a mean way, not like, hey, I'm going to make sure you don't get any deals, I'm going to take them all. Nothing like that. It's just that they're an agent just like me. They're out there trying to get deals and trying to get leads and competing for the same business in the same marketplace, and they're working on their own deals. They're not there working to help me. They're not there for me. They happen to be the broker, doing their best, but they're also trying to maintain their own business. And I feel like it's different with you. I know that you're an investor yourself, and I'm sure you buy and sell your own properties. But when I go to King Realty Group, at least unless you're just with this with me, it feels like you're there for me. It feels like you're there to help me with my business, and
Sure.
You're not competing against me.
Yeah, I look at each one of my agents that are here as I'm a partner in their business, even though they may be 100%. They're here, and I feel that I'm a partner in their business, and I like to be able to help them. Now some agents, they like to just do their own thing, and that's fine, and that's fine too. As long as you follow the rules and regs, good. It's kind of unilateral. I'm here for you as much as you want me to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I love being able to come and bounce new ideas off of you, call you with an idea, get your honest feedback, and not have my ideas shot down. And I think that's something that's important for people to realize too, is I feel like our brokerage is on the cutting edge. I feel like we're risk takers. We're people that push the boundaries, push the limits, are seeking, new innovative ways to run our businesses, and that we're not afraid. We're not scared of new things and new ideas. So your ideas here are not shot down. They're actually, I can bring the craziest idea to you, and as long as it's legal and it's not going to harm somebody, you're giving me 50 pieces of input of how I could make it better or how I shouldn't do it. So, which is equally appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to be real. I mean, if you're going down a direction that's not a good idea, then I'm going to tell you. But if you're going down a different direction, and I'm going to point out like, oh, do that. You should definitely do that. That's amazing, great idea, Tam. Or here's a couple other things that might tweak another idea on you, because guess what? You're going to think of things I'm not going to think. I'm going to think of things that you're not. I mean, we're constantly innovating at King Realty Group. And I mean, like usually every nickel we make here goes back into the company, innovating, building a better company for our agents. I mean, in today's age, if these brokerages are not innovating, you're going to see a lot of them fall behind. So it's always good to be innovating, especially now. And then as we're innovating and we're coming up with new ideas, I've had agents tweak some of the things that we've come out with, a marketing plan or this or that. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even think of that. That's brilliant. And watch them run with it and see their business go up is awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I was just setting up some new stuff on my website the other day. Instead of buying the entire website, I just bought like a landing page to host my domain on. And I went to put our blog on there. I was just going to put one blog post. I didn't realize that it would actually auto-populate all the history of all our blogs. Like some of the features that we have are so easy and just so tech friendly, even though they're, pretty high level. I mean, you just one click, copy and paste, boom. Now all my blogs are in my website that you've been sent. So for those of you that are watching that don't know, we have a blog that Brian sends out to us in our email, a few times a week. And it's so easy. We can just use that link. We put it on our own Facebook. It looks completely organic to us and drives right back to our website. So, I mean, how can you worry about writing a blog every few times a week and just all these moving parts? Like for a website to be valuable from a broker, it has to replace some of the majority of those moving parts at the very least.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, and for those of you out there building websites, you know, one thing is you'll find is the easier and simpler you try and make something, the harder it is. The more code that you have to write and the more expensive it is. Like it might roll off the tongue really simple and just sounds extremely simple to you. But in the tech world and with writing code, the simpler it is, the harder it is.
You know, moving brokerages to me is a very, very big decision. You know, even if it's the perfect fit, and let's just be real, it's a financial commitment to move. You have to rebrand. There's a lot of work involved. You switch your licensing around. It's not just, you know, it's not easy. It's a pain in the ass. So I don't take it lightly. Joining you, like the way that it happened, it was just so synchronistic. Like I think I reached out to you and you were like, holy crap, I was going to call you tomorrow. So it was just everything lined up. The website was awesome. And then when you handed me the class packet, it was like, you know, pay-per-click, Facebook ads, learn YouTube, whatever it was. I was just like, sold. That's it. This is what I need. This is what I want. So,
well, yep.
Real valuable.
Thank you, Tam. And you know, you're a perfect fit here, and you know, really valued here as an agent. And I think that your business is going to keep growing, and I'm excited to watch you get to the next level here shortly. And thank you again for suggesting to do this video.
Absolutely. Thank you too.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
All right. Bye-bye.